Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. You know, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes with my good friend Bruce Brown. Could I call you a good friend? Is it?
Yes.
All right, I will call him a good friend because we've only met in person 2 or 3 times, 4 times, but we've talked on phone several times. And my good friend Bruce Brown is here. I've been so doggone enthralled in the conversation, the pre-show conversation. We hardly did any preparation for the show. Ooh, shocker, I bet. But Bruce is here, and Bruce is a Nashville guitarist. He has been a working professional guitarist down in Nashville for over X amount of decades. I don't know when we'll eventually get into how long you've been doing that. If you're
1980, I moved.
1980 down there. Well, I wasn't going to tell people how old you were yet, Bruce. But he's been down there for quite some time, and we're going to talk about how you become a Nashville guitarist and how much fun you can have, as well as his enjoyable life as a Nashville guitarist. And some parts probably not so enjoyable on the road with Charlie Daniels, Mel McDaniel, and heaven knows how many other folks. So we'll do all that here on today's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in, and however you are watching us today on YouTube or on television, we do appreciate you. You're off camera now, so if you want to, you can always peek over there and see what's on camera. So yeah, you're way off. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and start picking your guitar or whatever you want to do. This is Monday, February 21st. I do appreciate you tuning in today. Not a ton going on today to tell you about in the terms of community events, but there are a few things going on we can enlighten you on. Over in Odin today, it is at the Gospel Lighthouse Church. They are going to host a food distribution. It'll be an hour from 10 to 11. The food pantry at the Gospel Lighthouse Church will be open for those in need. So please bring your own containers or boxes, and it is a drive-through only. It'll be for 1 hour today from 10 to 11 over there in Odin. Also today, now this is a fun one, over in Altamont at the Ballard Nature Center. That'll be starting at around 10 o'clock this morning. They're going to have gourd painting. When's the last time you painted your gourd, Bruce?
I don't think I've ever painted. I don't think I've ever painted my gourd.
Well, I just was wondering. I mean, occasionally.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, it is a good question.
To start off with.
So you can do it later on this morning. You can go over to Altamont and paint your gourd. There you go. There's something to do. Learn about the birds that nest. Also, folks, in the bird boxes, tree holes, paint a birdhouse gourd. This is actually for kids from 8 to 11. So you're out.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
I can act like I'm 8.
You can act it like, registration is required, so you might want to give them a call at the Ballard Nature Center. What else going on today, ladies and gentlemen, of interest to you? This, ladies and gentlemen, is National Sticky Bun Day. National Sticky Bun Day falls on February 21st. This recognizes a delicious pastry that comes rolled up and dripping with sweet, sugary topping, perfect for a hot cup of coffee in the morning or even as an after-dinner sweet. Known as Schneckers sometime, meaning snail, the sticky bun is rolled in a sweet spiral resembling its German name, still considered to be a Pennsylvania specialty. Many believe the sticky bun's origin in the United States began in the 19th century. German settlers brought their baking traditions with them when they began settling in and around Philadelphia. So most often served for breakfast or dessert. You have now learned probably more about the sticky bun than you ever thought you would, I suspect, right?
It's interesting.
Well, I appreciate that.
I enjoy the sticky bun.
Well, you see, that is a great picture.
I enjoy the sticky bun.
Yeah, I love the sticky buns. Those are good. What kind of nuts are best on sticky buns, Bruce?
Pecans.
Absolutely
No
right.
question about it.
Yeah, pecans. Those are pecans on the sticky bun right there.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that's
have the pecans.
you got to have the pecans. I don't blame you a bit. What else is going on today, ladies and gentlemen? A couple of other events today. Of course, this is Monday, February 21st, the third Monday in February. That makes this President's Day. This is when it's a national holiday, celebrates the federal holiday known as President's Day. This day takes place during the birth month of the country's two most prominent presidents, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Let's see. If George were alive today, he would be 290 years old and very angrily banging at the box.
That's old.
That's old. If today, let's see, the 22nd would be George's birthday, and actually the 12th, of course, is Lincoln's birthday. Both of them are celebrated here on President's Day. Lincoln would be 200 and what's my math? 213 years old today. So, do have a few trivia questions here. If you're interested, are you interested in trivia at all? I got to tell you, I know you a little bit, Bruce.
Yeah.
You're not going to do well at all on these questions.
I'll give them a shot. Can I just, like, if I have no idea, I'll just say pass?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Who were the three presidents who served in the year 1841?
Pass.
Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, and then John Tyler, because Van Buren started the year, then they inaugurated Harrison, and then he died, and then Tyler.
History was not something that I did well in.
Same thing happened in 1881. Who was it that year? Pass. Garfield, Hayes, and Arthur. Don't worry. These are tough questions. Actually, these are really tough questions. Three presidents died on July 4th. Two of them the same year. Two founding fathers. Actually, three founding fathers, I guess.
Now I'm just embarrassing. Can I just pass on the whole thing?
Yeah, you can pass on the whole thing. Don't worry about it, but I will tell you that I don't mean to embarrass you, Bruce. You'll embarrass me soon when you play the music, and I have to realize how untalented I am. It was John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th, 1826, 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And then Monroe died like 10 years later. So there you go, folks. 60 years. He didn't sign the Declaration like the other two did. I'm not going to even ask you the last one.
You've given up on me.
I've given up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is also National Engineers Week. This is probably the only week of the year that folks do celebrate engineers. And this actually started back in 1951. The National Society of Professionals Engineers created National Engineers Week to call attention to the contribution engineers make to society. This week is observed by more than 70 engineering, educational, and cultural societies and more than 50 corporations and government agencies. And I'm just presuming that the nerds wanted people to say something nice about them. That's I can say that, Bruce, because doggone it, I went to school at the University of Illinois with thousands of engineers. Yeah. And only like one out of every 1,000 of them were very non-nerdy. Let's put it that.
But you know what? You got to be the nerd to be the engineer, and they build some good stuff. So.
They build good stuff. We do appreciate all the things that the engineers build. We'll say nice things about them for a week. How about that? What do you want to see on television tonight? Want to watch on TV? NCAA basketball this evening at 6. Indiana is at Ohio State. That's on channel 610, and that'll be followed by Arizona State at UCLA at 8 p.m. Also at 6 p.m. on on ESPN 2, it is Penn State at Maryland, Big Ten Conference. And then on ESPN, a doubleheader, the Louisville Cardinals are at North Carolina, followed by the Baylor Bears at Oklahoma State. No NBA basketball. It is the All-Star break, and that is going on right now. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Bruce Brown. My name is Bruce Dickey. We are going to have some fun today. We are going to talk about all kinds of fun guitar stuff with Bruce Bruce as well as reminisce a little bit. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll be right back after these words. Do please stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Mold, rank air, pests, all getting closer to inside your home. With a dirt crawl space, there's no telling what's below you.
A sealed crawl space locks the nasty stuff out, plus can lower your utility bills. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
He wasn't right now.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Why don't you scoot up just a little bit?
sorry.
You need to be a little closer to
Thank
that
you, sir.
microphone so
Yep,
folks,
no problem.
folks can hear you. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Bruce Brown is here. Bruce is a guitarist down in Nashville and has been for over 40 years.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the easy question first. Who got you started on becoming a musician? And did you pick up the guitar first, or did you play something else?
I played the guitar first, and I would probably say the Beatles. Seeing the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show.
You know, that's like, everybody says that,
How
don't
many
they?
stories have you heard like that? Everybody says that, right? Tom Petty said that.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah. So I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I remember, I think it was probably about 5th grade.
Yeah.
Walking home from school, I walked by a music store, and there was this little brown acoustic guitar. I remember it had $20 price tag on it.
Okay.
I must have told my parents about it because I got that very guitar for Christmas.
Oh, you got the guitar in the
for
window.
Christmas. Yeah. So that started the whole trying to figure out how to play it process.
Did you have a teacher that was good at it, or were you all self-taught?
I was self-taught.
No kidding.
Yeah, self-taught.
How many hours do you think you started before you decided? Oh, let's go before I get to that question. That's kind of down the road.
Let me jump in here.
Yeah.
I remember when I got that little guitar, my dad sat on the couch, and he wasn't a musician, but I watched him slowly pick out by ear the melody to the song Misty. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
See, the third piece, the third part of Misty is not the easiest chord.
Yeah. Well, he was only playing single notes, but
Okay.
still, I watched him, and as a little kid, I went, he just figured that out. And I think something clicked. And I just, but I put it down for about 2 years. After I got that guitar, I probably banged on it and maybe broke a couple of strings. I put it in the closet. I don't remember really playing it much. That was when we lived in Decatur, Illinois. Then we moved to West Frankfort, and I was about the 6th grade.
Yeah.
And I met a couple of kids that had guitars, and they played.
Yeah.
So then I kind of got back interested in
Okay.
it. So.
Well, you see, now at that point, you probably weren't playing to try to pick up girls or anything.
No.
That came later.
Well, you hear a lot of musicians say that, honestly, but and this may sound corny, but I really just was wanting to learn how to play the guitar.
No kidding.
Yeah. But I did notice that, if you were in a band, there was something to it. The girls kind of like guys in bands.
What was the first tune you learned? You know? I guess you do know.
This is tuned funny. I'm going to have to retune to tell you, okay? So give me a minute.
Take your time. The reason you go ahead and take your time, I can tell you whenever I picked up a guitar, the first song I tried to play on it, and it's probably the easiest one in the world, is or the most recognizable is Daytripper.
That's a pretty good lick, though.
It's an impossible lick for an idiot like me who can't play guitar. but it takes a lot doing. That's kind of fun to learn how to try to play that. I appreciate you bringing your guitar, by the way.
Well, that's close. So there was a movie. There was a motorcycle movie. I think.
CC Rider?
No. Hell on Wheels, Hell's Angels on Wheels,
Okay.
or something like that. There was blues theme.
Okay. No kidding. And you remember that now? That's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a surf song or something.
Okay, so that's like in the mid-'60s.
Yeah, and I had a buddy named Nat Williams, and he actually showed me how to play that song. So I remember that.
That is really cool. All right, now, so you finally you got to playing a song. Mm-hmm. Is that what kind of lit the fire to get you back into it more and more?
Yeah, I remember taking that little guitar that we talked about to a couple of buddies' house, Nat and Doug Harrell. They both had guitars, and we played songs like
House of the Rising Sun, sure. Yeah.
Sorry about the tuning.
That's all right.
Yeah, House of the Rising Sun was another one. We tried to play some Steppenwolf songs.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to get your age here. You'd be about 16 then.
That would have no. That would have been about 13.
13. Okay, yeah, okay.
About
Okay,
13.
I've got
Late
your head.
60s, probably
16 to 72. Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but yeah. And then I remember going to 7th grade,
Yeah.
sitting down in homeroom, and this little guy leans over and he goes, "My name's Danny. I'm a drummer." So now we've got a couple of guitars, and we start going out to Danny's house in his garage and banging around trying to play songs.
Yeah.
And it went from there.
Who ended up singing?
I was singing.
You sang?
I always sang.
You do sing. You sang as a professional with the groups that you
Every
played
group
with, right?
I ever played in, I sang.
Yeah.
A lot of times lead singer, yeah.
Oh well, that's pretty cool.
But I never really wanted to be that. I never really enjoyed it that much. I did it like out of necessity. But this was really what I wanted to do, just play guitar.
What was did you guys form a band? You and the boys? Or did it?
We had some, we called ourselves a band, but we weren't really.
Did you have a name? I guess what I'm getting at. Did you pick a name?
I don't remember that group actually having a name. So, but Danny and I banging around in the garage. Doug Harrell was there banging around with us. And one day, a really nice 57 Chevy pulled into the driveway.
Okay.
Red, pretty, chrome.
Yeah, nice.
And two guys get out.
Okay.
And one guy, his name was Ralph Beaver, and he was probably 25, 26 years old. The other guy was Larry. Found out later he was a bass player.
Okay.
And I don't know where Ralph had heard about us, but he said, "I need a drummer and a guitar player. You guys want to be in a band?" And,
That's cool.
And me and Danny said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So we somehow would go to Johnson City and rehearse there was a teen town on Main Street, and we would rehearse up there. Ralph actually got us gigs. So
That's pretty cool.
I'll make the story short. So at one point, I played a gig with Ralph on a Friday night.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, he walked up and gave me $50.
Ladies and gentlemen, a professional.
And then we played Saturday night, and he walked up and gave me another $50. And I'm like 15, and I go, I like playing guitar. I'm 15 years old. I got $100.
Yeah.
I thought,
I'll
be a guitar player.
I can upgrade my guitar. Oh, that is so cool. I tell you what we're going to do. Take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll get into the 70s here with Bruce Brown. This is fascinating. Lead guitarist for the Charlie Daniels Band, lead guitarist and band manager for Mel McDaniel back in the 1980s. A real treasure. We'll be back here right after this. Do stick around.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basementy experts.
Mold, rank air, pests, all getting closer to inside your home. With a dirt crawl space, there's no telling what's below you.
A sealed crawl space locks the nasty stuff out, plus can lower your utility bills. Woods, the all things basementy experts.
Scheid Diesel Service Company is your anything diesel full service center and fuel injection shop. Scheid Diesel offers the quickest turnaround times to get you back on the road. Scheid Diesel can service any diesel engine from agricultural, construction, heavy-duty truck, and automotive. Let Scheid rebuild your pump, injectors, or turbos. Need custom fuel lines? Scheid has you covered. With a drive-in service, they offer a variety of services including oil changes, engine rebuilds, DOT inspections, and DPF cleanings. For unmatched quality, think Scheid Diesel Service Company. Anything diesel.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, MidwestFarmCo.com.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get ahead of the game at Carter Athletic Academy, where the goal is to transform you into the best young athlete you can be. Train for top performance in football, volleyball, soccer, baseball, and softball. Professional private lessons and clinics are always available with Carter Athletic Academy's expert training staff. Carter's exclusive Hit Track system brings skill development as well as exciting gameplay to batting cages. Plus, the Academy is the perfect spot for your special event or celebration. The Carter Athletic Academy in Fairfield. I just got him thinking. That was a bad idea. Sorry, he was doing so well.
Don't make a musician think.
All right, we're to the 1970s, and we're playing local bands. So you've continued just playing local bands through high school, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Played in a group.
Where'd you go to college?
I didn't.
You didn't go to college?
No. I knew that... Mark Knopfler said, some people go to school to learn to play guitar. I learned to play guitar so I didn't have to go to school. That's more my approach. It's like I remember.
I have not heard that quote.
Yeah.
I've been the biggest Dire Straits and Markel Knopfler fan forever. I can't believe that is a great one. Yeah, that's a good line.
I mean, I remember being in high school, sitting here going, "I don't need to learn this. I'm going to be a guitar player." So maybe it was naive. I think a lot of it was kind of naive. Now looking back on it, but it worked out.
Did you play? When did you start playing for a living? After high school? Immediately after high school, or did you?
I never quit after I got that first $50.
Really?
I played all through high school. As a matter of fact, the football picture reminded me. I played freshman and sophomore football for the Redbirds in West Frankfort, Illinois. Redbirds, and those games were on Monday and Tuesday nights.
Okay.
But junior and senior football were on weekends.
Right, Friday and
so
Saturday.
So I had to make a choice because I was always playing music in bars on weekends.
By the way, this is his brother-in-law, John Griffith, on there, who just passed away. Wonderful guy. Wonderful guy. Yeah.
So
you had to make a decision.
I made a decision like really early on.
Yeah.
When that guy gave me $50. That was not a joke. I'm telling you the truth. And another thing, to be honest with you, my father walked out. It's like I was probably a junior in high school, and I came home from high school one day, and he was gone. And my mom was in the kitchen crying, and it's like, your dad's left, we're getting a divorce, he's got another woman. So I remember thinking right then going, I'm on my own. What can I do? And I'm like, well, I play guitar, and people pay me to play guitar. I'll be a guitar player. So it was never a conscious decision that
you never had a decision because your decision was made for you.
I made my decision when I was about 15.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so you get out of high school. How does I want to know how the progression goes, how you get down to Nashville.
Okay.
Because you talk to people who go to Nashville, you've got to be the best of the best of the best to play guitar successfully down there, don't you? Or really lucky?
I think that you have to be good, but a lot of it has to do with what type of person you are, if you got a good attitude, and if you get along with people. I think that has a lot to do with it.
What made you decide to go down there?
I knew that they weren't making records
in West Frankfort,
Illinois. and with no disrespect, because all these guys are friends of mine, but we called it weekend warriors. You know what I mean? If you're going to stay around here, you might get lucky and play at the Elks or the Moose Club on the weekends. Yeah. And that's not being a real musician. I mean,
well, that's dilettante.
So I had to do it. I had to go. If you want to pick cotton, you have to go to the field. So where was the music business?
Down in how do you get started then? So you go down there. Did you know anybody?
Well, you'd have to back up even further than that, because get out of high school, play in club bands, travel in a van, got married. Robin traveled in a van with me, playing Holiday Inns all over the country, 6 nights a week, 4 hours a night, learning top 40 music.
Oh, so you're basically playing cover band, right?
A lot of cover music, and I learned to play a lot of music, and I think I got better because of it.
Is that basically that you if you're doing that, you can't get pigeonholed into a particular style?
And I didn't want to be, because I wanted to go to Nashville and be a session player.
Yeah.
And to be a session player, you have to be versatile. So I tried to be versatile. I tried to learn a lot of different styles.
How long did this go?
From 15, oh, okay.
No. I mean, before you moved to Nashville, how long
I moved to Nashville, I was 25.
Okay, so you spent about 7 or 8 years.
So I got out of high school at 17.
Yeah.
And
spent about 7 or 8 years.
73, 74.
Troubadouring.
73, 74, playing in a rock band, local rock band. Moved to Atlanta, joined another rock band, traveled around in a U-Haul van, came home sick with pneumonia and broke.
Okay, I'll talk to the folks. I'll talk to musicians all the time who have done the same thing. I mean, it's basically a rite of passage. And are you far enough removed from it that you can look back on those days fondly?
Most of them, most of them, because we were having a lot of fun, and the band was friends. We were, 4 high school buddies playing together, and it was fun.
Have you played in a band where I guess you must have over the years, at some point the band didn't get along. And it just wasn't working out, or are you one of the lucky ones who haven't really had to deal with all that much strife?
Well, here's the deal. In general, I feel like we always got along.
Yeah.
But for instance, with Charlie Daniels' band, I was in the group for 31 years.
Yeah.
And you ride on a silver aluminum 45-foot tube down the road.
Yeah.
For 31 years.
You probably could get on each other's nerves.
With 10 or 12 other guys. There are going to be times where you're not getting along. But the majority of the time, we did get along.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so we've got you to Nashville.
Yeah.
All right. You show up. Do you know people's names, or do you start walking to different publishing houses and picking, or just go to different gigs, or are you buskering or whatever?
No, I went to the Musicians Union.
Were you in it?
I was.
Okay, I didn't know if
joined
you.
the Musicians Union in Illinois.
Yeah. I didn't know
about that time when I was maybe 16 playing clubs.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't know if the union would take you.
Back then, it's funny because I remember being, like 16 and playing the Elks Club in here in Illinois and stuff. And a union rep would actually come in
just to make sure,
and they'd make you show you got a union card. You'd get your wallet out and you'd show them the card.
Yeah.
But they don't do that anymore.
No.
So I joined the union real early. So I went straight to the union and I sat down there and I drank coffee. And anybody that walked in the door that looked like they had a friendly face, I introduced myself and told them I'd moved to town. I played guitar. And what do I do now?
That's great.
And there were a lot of very friendly people because at this, everybody does that.
Yeah.
So
you weren't the first.
And most of these guys walking in, some of them had moved from Illinois, and they were session players, and they went, "Yeah, I'm from Illinois," and so
basically you start networking.
You just,
Oh, that's really cool.
I started hanging out and going to clubs every night. See, that's another thing. You just like pop around, get in the car, put the guitar and the amp in the car, and go from club to club to club, and set in where you can, play with as many people as you can, get to know people.
That's outstanding.
That's how I did it.
Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit about, I want to talk about Mel McDaniel's years, the Mel McDaniel years, because those seemed like a lot of fun. We'll be back right after this on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That is do you remember the Mel McDaniel years? Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local hand-cooked tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Mold, rank air, pests, all getting closer to inside your home. With a dirt crawl space, there's no telling what's below you.
A sealed crawl space locks the nasty stuff out, plus can lower your utility bills. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, "Together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Talking to Bruce Brown here. We're talking about, well, we've gotten into the 1980s, all right?
Yeah.
We're going to get you to the 1980s.
Okay.
You met and were hired by a fellow named Mel McDaniel. Tell me about Mel McDaniel. He, of course, the big song, what would be his biggest song?
Baby's got her blue jeans.
Baby's got her blue jeans on.
Okay. So before Mel, though, there was Margot Smith.
Forgot about Margot Smith.
And I actually played just a short stint with Tommy Cash.
Okay.
Played with Margot.
Johnny's
younger brother. Played just a few months with Gail Davies' band.
Okay.
And then it was through the bass player that had played with Margot.
Yeah.
And him and one of her roadies were working with Mel.
Okay.
And Mel was actually replacing a steel guitar player.
Really? A pedal steel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but he went ahead and hired a lead guitar.
They drove me up to his house so I could meet him, and I met him, and he said, "Can you be ready to go by Wednesday?" And I said, "Yeah." They were going to California. He said, "We're going out to California for 2 weeks. I'll take you. If it works out, you're in the band. If it doesn't, no hard feelings." And I said, "That sounds fair."
Will I get a ride back home?
I would, yeah. And I worked for him for 6 years.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's tell me. I was reading something, or I saw on YouTube. Mel had an issue in the desert. Tell me what happened in the desert on the Mel McDaniel bus.
A rear wheel flew off of it. So
is this the worst accident you ever had when you were on a trip? On a band trip? Do you know?
We've bumped into a couple of people on buses.
Yeah.
On the ice one time, we bumped into a couple of people.
So you're driving in the desert.
And then we also had a guy almost turn one over once.
Oh no!
That's another story altogether. But with Mel, we're in the desert, miles and miles from anywhere, and one of the rear wheels on the bus flies off and flies out into the desert. So of course we're stranded. And we were laughing a while ago because Mel's brother, Mike, he actually went out into the desert looking for the wheel.
You're going 70 miles an hour, the wheel flies off, the bus will slow down. The wheel won't.
It goes. And I do believe he came back with it, which is kind of miraculous.
Do you think you made the show? Did you guys make the show that night, I guess? I wonder.
Too long ago.
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
Yeah.
Probably not, because, I mean, I don't know. We sat out on the side of the road for a long time. It takes a long time to get a tow truck or someone from a truck stop. Back then, before cell phones and stuff, you'd have to stop a trucker or something and go tell somebody.
You get on CB and tell somebody or something. Size of the show. When you moved from Mel McDaniel to Charlie Daniels, was the size of the production just hugely different, or were they similar to start with, or what?
They were different in a lot of ways. With Mel, we carried our equipment in the bay of the bus.
Oh, okay.
And the band would go over in the afternoon and set it up and do sound check. We'd play the show or 2 shows, and the band tore the gear down and put it back into the bus.
You were on road.
First thing with with Charlie was he had a road crew. I didn't set my amp up, so that was new.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they teased me for a long time because I always carried my guitar with me. I was used to having my guitar with me. The idea of letting my guitar go to somebody else and be put on a truck and not see it it was weird for me.
You're not about to let your guitar out of your sight. That's your prized possession.
Yeah, so,
well, okay. So you stick with Mel for a while. Did you have a lot of fun? Were those a lot of fun those days? What's the biggest crowd you think you played with Mel?
We probably did Jamboree in the Hills, which is Wheeling, West Virginia, I believe. It's huge.
Really?
And I played it with Margot, I played it with Mel, I played it with Charlie. So probably with Mel, Jamboree in the Hills, that's kind of like a country Woodstock or something. Everywhere you look, it's a sea of people. Afternoon show probably. 100 degrees.
Yeah. When you do a show like that, do you get the opportunity to meet people? Or I mean, do you get a chance to other than like specialized VIP meets and greets?
Not really,
and stuff.
because
I didn't know that really that just you're kind of segregated off, aren't you?
You are. Yeah, there's a backstage area when they got catering, and that's where the crew is, and that's where the buses are. That's where the dressing rooms are.
Yeah.
So we kind of live back there during the day and go to catering and have lunch and stuff. And there's a stage, there's a fence, there's security, and then the crowd's out there. So now I will say this: I had a CD for a while. I made a CD, and I would go out to the merch table.
Right.
And I would sign autographs and try to sell. I was hawking product.
You're hawking your product.
I'm hawking my product.
Right.
By shaking hands and signing autographs. So I got to meet a lot of people that way.
Well, I didn't know if typically. See, a lot of bands I go see, I don't usually go to the big venues anymore. I'm going to the bars and stuff, and then those guys are usually coming out and after they've played, coming out and talking and hawking stuff, and that seems like a lot of fun. But you kind of, as not the headliner guy. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling you. I'm not putting you down or anything. But I'm saying you might have been a little bit more incognito. You could have gone out and watched a show.
Who I was. Yeah, and I did that a lot.
Did you really?
Yeah, like we used to do package shows, like back with Mel and Margot, back when in the '80s, early '80s. Country music had package shows, and you would go play. It might be Margot Smith, Conway Twitty.
Right.
I don't know, Johnny Russell.
Yeah, Bill Anderson.
Lynn Anderson.
Yeah, Lynn Anderson. Who was? Either one.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
So, and we would do our show with Mel, and I would go and sit. So I got to see Johnny Rodriguez, and I've gotten to see George Jones and Earl Haggard. And
it's tough to ask you.
Cash.
It's tough to ask you this, but for those of us who don't see shows every night. We probably can make a list of. I can tell you my top five favorite concerts I've ever been to. You would have a different perspective on that. What are the top and actually a different way to judge that? I'm not going to ask you your top 5 favorite shows that you've done, but who do you like to go see? Who puts on the best show that you've seen? Besides the Charlie Daniels Band back in the 1990s.
Well, now shows that I've seen while I was playing with Charlie and groups that opened for us and stuff, or shows that I've seen my entire life.
Let's go with both. First the groups that have played, opened, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Who's impressed you most live?
I tell you what, 38 Special.
No kidding.
They put on a great show. I mean, those guys come on stage every night, play hits. America.
Yeah.
America opened it for us one time, and they just played hit after hit after hit, and they sang great. They were in tune. They sang in tune. Everything was good. America was great.
I have heard 38 Special. Yeah. I've talked to people who've been to 38 Special, who have gone to all kinds of shows. Say 38 Special just puts on a whale of a show.
Who would you know? If I sat here and thought about it for 5 minutes, I might be able to name a half a dozen more.
Who would you go pay to see now?
Ry Cooder.
I bet.
Ry Cooder.
Does Ry Cooder still do anything?
I don't know. But I'd go see him if he did. But I live in Nashville. I'd go see Joe Bonamassa.
Joe Bonamassa is
I'm totally into Joe Bonamassa right now. And
he's touring, for crying out loud. You can go see Joe Bonamassa.
He plays the Ryman. He played the Ryman, and I was probably in town. But see, I live 30 miles out here, and I don't go as much as I used to. Yeah, that's part of it. I'm 66 years old, and in Nashville, if you're talking like local music, like the really good players and stuff, sometimes they don't even start until 10 o'clock.
That's too late for those of us over the age of 50.
Like I used to, Bruce.
This is Bruce Brown. I'm Bruce Dickey. He's lead guitar for the Charlie Daniels Band and for Mel McDaniel back in the 1980s. Charlie Daniels for 30 years. And we're going to come back, talk a little bit more about the Charlie years, and wrap things up here with Bruce. You're watching Big Talk. Back after this. Well, hold on. I can't. My thing just gave up on me, Bruce. Give me 20 seconds to wrap it up here. You got 20 seconds you want to kill?
Well, let me see. I enjoyed watching Dickey Betts play live. we didn't talk about Dickey.
We didn't talk about Dickey.
But Dickey
Did you prefer Dickey with the Allman Brothers, or did you get a chance to see the Allman
You know
Brothers?
what? I saw the Allman Brothers after Dwayne had died. Robin and I saw them at a show in Evansville, and actually left because
Something must have come up.
I think they closed the show, and it was one of those shows that started like at 10 a.m. It was outdoors.
Oh, that's a long day.
And,
yeah, all right.
I remember. I think she had wine in one of those leather kind of things at home.
We're gonna take a break. I got my computer running now. Back in a sec.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at carnabysquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Does your home show signs of foundation problems? Call the experts at Woods Basement Systems. Our Power Brace system can fix the problem permanently and help protect the value of your home. Call Woods Basement Systems today. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Mold, rank air, pests, all getting closer to inside your home. With a dirt crawl space, there's no telling what's below you.
A sealed crawl space locks the nasty stuff out, plus can lower your utility bills. Woods, the all things basement-y experts.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I got Bruce Brown here, and I've barely scratched the surface. We're running out of time. I've got 10 minutes left to talk to you. All right, tell me how you met Charlie Daniels, and the folks all want to know, was Charlie as wild, or as he seems on stage like a big old redneck type of guy, right? Or maybe not even that, just a big country boy.
I think of Charlie as he was very youthful. Charlie had
youthful,
almost, you know what, a playfulness about him that was almost childish at times in the studio and stuff. Yeah, he loved to have fun and crack people up and stuff. But meeting him, back to Mel. Mel had a drummer come through the band named Jack Gavin.
Okay,
he played with Mel for several months.
Right, and
he heard about Charlie looking for a drummer. He got the audition. He got the gig. So Jack called me when Tommy Crane was leaving Charlie. Tommy Crane played with Charlie for 14 years.
Played
on a lot of the big hit records.
Yeah, the big 70s hits.
So when Tommy was leaving the band, they were auditioning guitar players, and Jack called me and said, "You want to audition?" I said, "Yes." So
was he on Uneasy Rider and Trudy and all the long-haired country boy? And
he was on Devil Went Down to Georgia. He was on In America. He was on
Still in
Saigon.
Yeah.
All those Barry Barnes.
Barry Barnes, that's right.
Gary.
That was the one
Gary
before.
Allen was the drummer.
Yeah,
Gary
that was
Allen.
the one before he got basically a new rhythm section. And
But there was always him and Taz.
oh yeah, okay.
Taz was always there. It was Charlie and Taz, and the drum, Gary Allen, Barry Barnes on guitar.
Had you met Charlie before you auditioned, or,
No.
or was there an audition?
Well, yeah, there was an audition. I met Charlie because Mel was playing the Opry on a Saturday night, and Charlie Daniels' band was on the Opry the Saturday night. So somebody dragged me and said, "Come meet Charlie." So
well, Charlie was a nice guy. I mean,
Yes.
he'd meet people.
My first impression of him was, this guy's tall.
That's the thing.
He's tall.
He's 6'4" before the hat.
Yeah. And he had lost a lot of weight. He was on some kind of diet. So he, at that point in time, for Charlie, he looked tall and thin.
Really?
Yeah.
Imposing, I'm guessing.
I don't know how to describe it. You know how some people just have that charisma?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't really
walk
define
into
it.
a room and they own it.
It was Charlie, you know.
Yeah.
It's like he had that thing, and you were just sort of. You know, Johnny Cash was that way, you know. You kind of see people like that, and you don't. I mean, Charlie was really nice, but there's something about people like that I just kind of go like this.
You let
know
them
what I mean?
alone, don't you?
I do.
You let them alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met a few people. You don't meet many people like that over the course of a lifetime, do you?
Yeah. And I don't think it's because they would be unfriendly or anything, but it's just sort of there's an error or something
Aura.
about and you kind of go to a guy like Johnny Cash, there was a depth to him that is kind of like.
Well, nobody did the things Johnny Cash did.
He lived through a lot. So when he
talk about American original,
and you know both of them, when they talked about religion and they talked about their faith, you knew it was coming from.
They weren't messing around
because you know what they had done in their life before that point. They lived some life, dude.
They lived a lot of life. Had Charlie. He wrote Uneasy Rider, basically, and then became like you saw probably or around maybe for a change when Charlie might have been a little bit more of a liberal type of guy earlier on, became a more of a conservative type of guy as he got older. It was just kind of one of those things where you get older, your ideas change or something, or what do you think? Or does that make sense?
I think when I met Charlie, he had already become more of a conservative.
Had
But I
he?
do know that at one point they actually played shows for Jimmy Carter.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, Jimmy Carter came and asked the Charlie Daniels Band before I was in it to do shows, and he campaigned for Carter. So at one point, he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
But
well, Charlie's 20 years older than you.
yeah, and when I met him in 1989, he had gone more far right and was very vocal about it.
Well, he was a Reaganite, and
Plus, he was an opportunist.
Well, that's true too.
He knew he had
it was
a platform.
that was the popular.
He knew he had a platform, and he knew that people liked to get him on Fox News, and he had the persona and the hat, and he was a celebrity that talked politics, and it worked for him.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, that worked for him. That's fine. Tell me a little bit. I've burned all the time. Tell me how the creative process works. Whenever
You should have started that an hour ago.
I know, and I feel terrible. We were going to talk about the Beatles too and how that works. But
I can tell you how it works for me.
how does it work for you?
Real quick.
Because he still used to do, and did composing for television shows. This is fascinating to me that you could be flipping around TV shows.
Pawn Stars.
Duck
Dynasty.
You'll be flipping around a channel and you'll hear a song that you composed and you didn't even know that they bought it.
Here Comes Honey Boo Boo.
Did you do Here Comes?
I got some Here Comes Honey Boo Boo spots. Yeah,
I love it.
Swamp People and things like that.
How do folks compose?
How I compose is I don't compose like
you don't write stuff
Mozart or anything.
Yeah.
I make stuff up.
Yeah.
But, I get a cup of coffee in the morning. Usually Robin's at work. I'm by myself. I go in my music room. I grab a guitar, and I fiddle around. I'm not actually. I just sort of play and just kind of fiddle around. And if I'm lucky, maybe a little idea will come off the end of my fingers, like a couple of chords that sound cool together, or a little riff or something.
That's really cool.
And if I get that, that's the key. That's the starting point. So I'll start with that. And then I have to turn it into, that's where the work begins. That's the
starting point is the instant, but then you've got hours of
then you got to turn that little maybe 2 or 3 second something into 2 minutes.
You've got to build off of it.
Yeah. And if you're going to put words to it, then that even makes it hard.
Did you? I know you did a CD. I have not heard it. I apologize.
That's okay.
Do you have who sang? Did you sing on the CD?
I did.
I
did.
And
Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did.
Did you write all those?
I did. I wrote every song on it and played.
What's
all
the CD?
guitars.
I don't think I have the picture.
It's called Off the Edge.
Off the Edge.
Off the Edge.
Okay.
But it's probably 10 years old now, but it's still got some good stuff on there.
So, all right. So you're picking and you're writing. It seems to me, as a layperson, and entirely as a layperson, it seems to me I would be afraid, just fiddling around like that, I might accidentally start playing something that I'd heard somewhere else.
I think I've probably done that. I think everybody's probably done that at one time or another. Yeah, it's kind of like, and then, you know.
Then you worry, hopefully.
If you're honest.
Hopefully this plagiarism doesn't become popular.
But really, if it gets too close, if you go, as a matter of fact, I did a thing with a buddy of mine for a company in New York not long ago. It was kind of a bluegrass project, and they liked it a whole lot.
Really?
But they wrote back and they said, this one song sounds too much like Cats in the Cradle and a Silver Spoon.
Yeah, Harry Chapin.
We'd gotten too close to that. Ba ba da 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 da
Yeah.
da ba da ba da ba 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 ba, and they said too close. So we had to go back in and do some editing and take some notes out and kind of rewrote the
Have to pull
melody.
some words, probably.
It didn't have words. It was an instrumental song.
Okay.
But still, the melody was too close. So you can do that, and I don't think we're not always aware of it. I thought,
well, you wouldn't be.
I thought this is a cool melody I've come up with, but in fact, Harry Chapin had already done it.
How big is the biggest crowd you ever played for with Charlie?
There again, I'm going to go back to that same place.
Jamboree.
Probably Jamboree in the Hills is probably the biggest crowd that probably a whole lot of acts have ever played for. It's a big thing.
Whenever you guys were still going and during the concert, you'd have a set list, of course. Did you ever veer from the set list into something, or would that happen occasionally, every night, or never?
I would say it happened not every night, but probably more than occasionally.
Really?
Yeah, we would have a set list, but you know, Charlie, depending on his mood, if he was in a really good mood and feeling good, he might just turn and go, blues shuffle in G.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'd just jam blues or something.
Yeah.
And I've seen people holler requests and he'll play them.
That's fun.
And I've seen people holler requests and he's just kind of has selective hearing and ignore it because evidently he didn't want to play that song right then.
What's the favorite song to play? I got like 30 seconds here.
Okay.
What's your favorite song to play? With Charlie?
I always enjoyed playing Still in Saigon.
Did you?
I did.
That's got a great guitar part, doesn't it?
You know, I embarrassed myself once because somebody from the fan club asked what my favorite CDB song was, and I said Still in Saigon. I found out later Charlie didn't write that song.
Oh no!
That's one of the few songs Charlie didn't write. But it's not. It's just I like the guitar stuff. It's got all the harmony guitar, and it's really a cool, fun song to play.
I can't tell you my favorite, but I love hearing Trudy. I just love Trudy.
And
I got 20 seconds.
Caballo Diablo.
Really?
Spanish song, Caballo Diablo.
Oh, that's
very, very fun to play.
That's great. Oh, Bruce, I am so appreciative for you being here. Thank you so much.
Thanks
great
for
to
having
see
me,
you
man.
again. Folks, thank you. It's been a joy. I hope you enjoy it, and happy President's Day. We'll see y'all next time on Big Talk. Have a great day.